Alright, so yay me. I'm at a Love's here in Kentucky. I had stopped at my house, stayed the night last night, and picked up my camera, dash cam for my truck. So I made it here, not quite to Louisville, and fill up. And what do you know? My truck won't start. I don't know if you can hear it. It's trying to start. It's going won't. So I went inside and bought this because, of course, I don't have my tools with me. They're all in my other truck. Oh my gosh! Speaking of which, I've been out of it for 3 weeks, and 2 of those weeks it's been in the shop and it's still not done. I called the other day and got an update on it. Yeah, it's still not done. So, anyways. On a Freightliner, you can take this entire thing off. I don't know how to do that on this. So, anyways, I got to messing with it, and you can see got loose wires right there. So I'm hoping and praying that's what it is. Just got a shower at home too. Now I got grease and everything else all over me. Ugh. Swear. Tight. Probably not as tight as I could get it if I could get in there better. Nope. Not starting. So I'm gonna mess with it a little bit longer, and I'll get back with you guys in a little bit. Alright, so I was able to borrow some jumper cables from a guy. I hooked it to my reefer and let it charge for a minute. Got the volts up to about 13. I think it's 13, close to 13.5. Tried to crank it and it still wouldn't turn over. It's still just doing the same thing. And so neither one helped. Tightening down that cable and then jumping it off the reefer unit, neither one helped. So I walked over to Speedco, talked to them. I'm sure, I don't know, somebody told me they charge about $62, I think, to jump start you. $62 just to jump you. So I went over there, and the guy that I talked to said that the mechanic's on break right now. So I'm waiting on him to get back from break. I talked to Road Assist. Of course, they asked me, said, "You got a reefer trailer with you?" Well, yeah, I do have a reefer trailer with me, and I've already tried all that. Because I usually do. I'll try everything I know to do. You know, the simple basic stuff I know to do. Check your wires. You know, I even got in there and I checked the alternator, checked the wires there, tried to trace the wires down to see if maybe there might be something, you know, in there that I can see. Of course, I couldn't see everything, but I traced them down as far as I could. This International is not like the Freightliner. Freightliner, you pull 2 pins, or actually they may hook. I can't remember. But anyways, you pull them, and the whole side panel comes off over here. Where the batteries are at, and exposes the batteries, and they're all 4 lined up like this, so you can pop the top off and you can get to everything. It's fairly easy to work on. Another reason why I like Freightliners. This one, I don't see anything like that. It has a little door you lift up. Well, you've seen it. It has a little door you lift up, and all you can get to is right there. Just that little section. You can't get back into the back. And you can't get back there in the back. And it looks like to me that the panel, to take it off, you have to take some bolts out. And so I again don't have any of my tools with me, so oh my gosh, I hate this. Oh, and I was gonna name this channel Bad Luck Trucker or whatever, Bad Luck Trucking, but I seen there's another Prime driver. I think he just started a YouTube channel, and I haven't really watched. I think I've watched one of his videos, and theirs is called, his channel, he has somebody with him. I can't remember if it's his girlfriend, wife, I think, maybe. But they're called No Luck Trucking. So I thought, well, you know, I don't want to seem like I'm copying somebody or anything. But yeah, I've said this before, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. And this year, so far, has been full of it. I've been with Prime for 2 years and haven't hardly had any issues. And now, ever since January, about the middle of January, when I got backed into the very first time, it's just been bam, bam, bam. Backed into, lightning struck. Now stuck here with this loaner truck. Well, and everything was going good with this truck. I was actually surprised in it. It was definitely on my number two spot. Of course, I haven't. Only other truck that I've driven and wasn't under load was a Peterbilt. But so far, out of Freightliner, International, and Peterbilt, International's been, you know, it's my number 2 because it has quite a bit of storage, and it probably rides a little bit better than the Freightliner, not a whole lot, but so anyways, that's where I'm at right now. I'm waiting on Prime to maybe tell me what else they want me to do, if there's anything they do want me to do. I'm sure they may be talking to Speedco, see what they say, but other than that, I'm waiting on the mechanic and seeing if he'll get here pretty soon, and see if they can jump start me. Yeah, without my APU will get it up to 13.5. It got it up to 13.5 volts a minute ago, and as soon as I tried cranking it, you know, of course, dropped it down into below 12 volts, and then once you turn the key back off, it came back up. But it's back down to it's back at 12.4 volts. So I don't know. Apparently 13.5 volts isn't enough to crank it, although I would think that it would be, but I guess maybe not. So I don't know. I'll wait till the mechanic gets here and hopefully get something done. So I'll get back with you guys whenever I figure something out, or hopefully get back on the road. Alright, so as you can see, I'm back on the road. They had to jump me twice. Speedco closes at 8. They actually closed early. The mechanic, I waited on the mechanic. Mechanic pulled over there. He jump started me, which I didn't think it was going to work there for a minute. But it got it started. And of course, we talked for a second. I shut my hood, shut up the battery compartment, get in the truck, and I start texting Prime to let them know. And guess what? Prime has their trucks equipped with an automatic shut-off, where your truck automatically shuts off after it's been running for, I don't know, like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, unless it's a certain temperature outside. If it's really hot, it'll stay running so you can run your air conditioner. If it's really cold, and I'm talking like well below freezing, it'll stay running so that you can run your heat. So of course it shut off on me, and I wasn't really thinking about it because I was trying to hurry up and send a message to Prime, and I was going to take off because this guy told me he wasn't going to stick around to change batteries. He's like, I got to get home, and I said, all right. So I went, after it shut off, I went back over there, and he was locking up. It was about 7:40, 7:45. He was locking up already, and I caught him as he's coming out the door, and I said, man, you know, you won't believe this, shut off, automatic shut off, you know. And he's like, man, he's like, yeah, he's like, I would stick around, help you out. He said, but I gotta get home, you know, I done this in my 12-hour shift. He said, but I'll come over and I'll jump you one more time, but you know, keep it running. I said, all right. So yeah, and then I shot Prime a message real quick. I think he was kind of hoping to get out of there before I let him know anything about changing batteries, which I knew he wasn't going to have enough time to change batteries because he's going to leave. But anyway, so I told Prime real quick, I got going, I'm back on the road, and they told me to just hit any TA I come across and get the batteries changed, checked, you know, tested and changed, and plus I guess the TA batteries come with a 1-year warranty. So yay me! Oh man. So the last time I made a video of where I was at and the load I was on, I had a multi-stop load, and I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, headed to Garland, Texas. So I go to Garland, Texas, pick up, drop that load at the exact same place. Sends me up to Minnesota. It had enough time on it for me to get a 34-hour reset. Now I talked to my dispatcher and I told him, I said, man, this has got too much time on it. Can I bring it by Springfield, drop it, and get under another load? He says, of course it's in the afternoon, getting close time for him to leave. He says, well, we can check and see if there's anything worth picking up. And I said, okay. I said, or I can go to Dallas, drop it at the Dallas drop yard, and just grab something, an empty trailer, go get it washed, and grab another load from here in Dallas. He said, no, you'd be better off coming to Springfield. I said, all right. Never heard nothing back from him, so I assumed he couldn't find anything better. Now, going against my gut instinct, I said, well, all right, I'll take it, get a 34-hour reset in. And I even told this to him too. I said, if you can't find nothing, I'll just get a 34-hour reset in and we'll hit it hard next week. And, you know, he said, all right. Never heard nothing back from him, so I don't know. I assume he just couldn't find anything. Didn't think anyway that anything was coming to Springfield, or that there would be anything worth picking up in Springfield. So I take this $1.50, less than $1.50 a load that has too much time on it, to Minnesota. Set on it for 34 hours, over 34 hours, get my 34-hour reset in. They want to send me to Stockton, California on my next load. Another $1.50 around that load, $1.50 a mile. And I said no. It's really windy. I'll be driving in the wind. That's fuel loss. I'll have to be going through the mountains, which would have made good video because I'd have been going through Salt Lake City, and Salt Lake City's beautiful. Going through Salt Lake, going that way, probably through Nevada too. Probably would have went across the Salt Flats. Awesome scenery. Would have made great footage. But I'm not worried about footage as much as I am money, because I just came off of a couple of low-paying loads. and then, because I thought, well, when I take this load to Minnesota, get my 34-hour reset in, I probably won't have much time to get another load in for the week. It was possible, but, I kind of figured maybe not. If I could have got another load in that week, it would have brought my pay up higher, and I wouldn't have been too bad off. But when I seen that load going to Stockton, California, it wasn't going to go on that week's check. So I thought, okay, here I am. I'm going to have another low-paying week, which was low-paying. It was $1,300. I figured a little under $1,500. I figured maybe close to $1,400. So it was even less than what I thought it was going to be. So then they tried to shoot me that load going to Stockton, California, and it wasn't going to deliver until that following Monday. So I thought, it was going to deliver on, take it back, it was going to deliver on Friday. And I was like, yeah, wind, mountains, that's bad fuel mileage. The fuel prices over in California, and in those areas, high. Would have lost even more money. And so I told him, I said, nah, I'm not taking it. He comes back, and plus it wasn't a meat load, so it wasn't a good paying load. He comes back and he says, all right, I'll take you off of it. I've got something that I think I can push through for you. I say, okay. So he takes it off of me. He puts that other one on. He says, and I look at it. It's a meat load going down, picking up, I think it was like an hour and a half, a couple hours away, going back down to Texas. So it was paying around $2 a mile. Probably right at $2 a mile, counting the tolls when you're coming through Kansas City, or Kansas, when you come through Kansas. Oklahoma, I don't think I hit any tolls in Oklahoma. But going 35, taking I-35 down. But there's tolls there in Kansas. So, it did pay $5 and something for tolls, which I know probably wasn't enough to cover the tolls, but I mean, that's better than nothing. But anyway, so $2 a mile, maybe a little over. I was going to Texas, and it was less miles, no wind, no mountains, just a little bit of tolls, and it was going to deliver nearly 24 hours earlier than the other load. It's actually probably about 19, 20 hours earlier than the other load. So it was going to deliver on Thursday morning. I said, heck yeah, that's only it was only $100 and something difference. It was like $160 less, somewhere around that, than the California load, but it was less miles, so more per mile, made more per mile. I mean, come on, $1.40 something versus $2 a mile, can't beat that. Even though the total was $160 less, around $160 less. Also, lower fuel prices, no mountains, and a whole lot less wind. And I wasn't driving into the wind either. So, saved money on fuel mileage. So you factor that in, and I probably made just about the same. I probably saved nearly $100 and something in fuel. But even if you don't look at it that way, you can look at it this way. I was delivering Thursday morning instead of Friday morning, which means I was able to jump on another load, and that's exactly what happened. I was able to jump on another load that delivered Friday morning, the same time that the Stockton load delivered. And guess how much it was, which I had to go further southwest, because I was over by Austin. It shot me down there by Laredo, which is fine. It was $1.50 a mile to go from there to Laredo, but it was $600 and some dollars, $630, $640. So I was able to get that load going down to Texas, jump on another load going over to Laredo, and deliver it on Friday morning before I even would have delivered the load in Stockton, California. So you know, even if you don't look at the fuel savings I saved by taking that load going to Texas, take $160 off of the $600 I made, and to go with the money I would have lost, or the less amount of money I got for the Texas load, and add that other $400 and some to it, I profited $400 and some. Not bad. Not bad at all. It actually worked out great. I was actually very happy with that, especially after coming off that 34-hour reset. I was like, man, y'all aren't going to do this to me. Trying to send me to Stockton, California with this cheap load, knowing that, you know, don't deliver till Friday, you know, and I knew that I probably wouldn't get that great of a load coming out of Stockton or coming out of California, because it typically don't pay that good. Usually the load going into California pays better than the load coming out. So I was glad I turned that load down, especially coming off that 34-hour reset and having another kind of low-paying week. I was pretty disappointed. So that bumped my confidence up, though. So, you know, then I picked up this load, or actually they sent me another load, and they was trying to send me to Ontario, California. Another lower-paying load. It's actually, I think it paid like $1.30 something. And I was like, are y'all kidding me? You're wanting me to run a load for $1.30 something, going from down here in Laredo up to Ontario, California, probably through, I know there's some mountains. I don't think it's as bad as going straight north up through California, and not going down I-24, but still, some mountains, maybe not so much wind, but definitely hot, because I was going to have to go through Phoenix, Arizona, and all that stuff to get to California down I-10, and I, you know, the fuel prices, I said, are you kidding me? $1.30 something a load with that kind of crap. I said, no, sorry. I'll be fine down here at the drop yard in Laredo. So that's why I sat for a little. He took me off of it, sat for a little bit longer there at the drop yard in Laredo. Prime's got a drop yard down there, in case you didn't know. Sat there for a little bit, probably about an hour or so, and he sends me another load. I think it was less than an hour. He sends me another load, which is this load. This load goes to Livonia, Michigan. Not only does it go to Livonia, Michigan, it pays 30-something cents more a mile, $1.60 something. No tolls, I don't believe. And I got to go to stay the night at my house, because I live in West Kentucky. So I only had to travel like 20-something miles out of the way, 30 miles out of the way, to stop by my house and stay the night. So that's what I did. Now, yeah, that's going to lose me money, because that's mileage you don't get paid for, but hey, I got to sleep in my own bed, got to see my wife, got to see my kids. You know, that's a good day for me. And then I leave my house, get there to Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and yeah. Now this problem. Oh my gosh, never ending. But I just, you know, it is what it is. I'm having a bad run. It's my life story. I'll go, you know, I like I said, the first 2 years I didn't have many problems at all. Did run into a little bad luck with bad tires. Seemed like I was getting tires changed all the time, but nothing like this. This is the worst luck I've had yet trucking. And I'm hoping that this is the worst I'll ever have it. I hope. I mean, I know it can get worse. That's why I don't get too upset, because believe me, it can get worse. Us truckers out here, we have a dangerous job. As a matter of fact, the next video I make, I'm going to show you guys a couple of clips of some horrible drivers that I've mentioned before, and something we got to deal with out here. And yeah, you know, a guy in Georgia just got shot. Trucker in Georgia got shot. Road rage victim. Shot and killed in Georgia. Sad man. And I mean, he's not the only one. That kind of stuff happens quite often out here. Last year, a couple of guys, truck drivers, got shot and killed. It's crazy. But yeah, we have one of the most dangerous jobs, and honestly, I don't think it pays enough, you know, for what we have to deal with out here. Yeah, camera's about to die. Wanted to give you guys that travel update and let you know what's up. I'm going to get to a TA as soon as I can, and I'll give you an update on that. Alright, so I'm back. As you can see, I made it to the TA about 40 miles from where I got to deliver. I just went ahead and pushed as far as I could, you know, to the very last TA. Plus, this TA had good reviews and a good rating. So, I made it here. I tried to do a high idle on the truck when I got here because I didn't want it to die. And the guy I loves told me that he thought that if I'd done a high idle, you know, if I could make it to a TA, if I'd done a high idle, then it should override the engine shutoff. And that may be true on the newer trucks. This is a man, my eyes are dry. When it starts getting real late, I start getting a little tired, man. My eyes get real bad dry. So anyway, but this is I think it's a night. If it's the same as the Freightliners, which I think is the second number is the year, its year, then it's supposed to be a 2020 because it's an 80. So I don't know. That would be a 2020, but I don't know. I tried to do the high idle anyway. I'm not familiar with this truck as I am a Freightliner. I've been in 3 Freightliners, 2 19s, and now the 21 I've got, and I've just always enjoyed them, especially their storage and stuff, like I've said in prior videos. But so I'm not real familiar with this truck. All I know is I tried to do a high idle to override the engine shutoff, and it didn't work. I went in, talked to the guy for a few minutes. I said, hey, I'm gonna go out and check my truck, make sure it's still running. Went out, come out here, and I checked it. No, it wasn't running. It shut off. So I'm glad I didn't go on to the 90, because that's what would have happened to me. And then there I would have been sitting at the 90. Yeah, they might have been able to pull me out from underneath the trailer, get the yard jockey to hook to it and take it to a dock to get it unloaded. But my gosh, been ridiculous. So anyway, I went in here and I talked to this guy. Of course, they said their main mechanic was out on the run. I don't know what the deal is with just changing batteries. I mean, you know, if you got a battery tester, put it on the tester, test it, see if it's any good. If it's not, change it. I mean, Prime may want them to change all of them anyway. I know they tend to do that. You know, if one or two's bad, they'll go ahead and change all of them. So I don't know, but all I know is they said it could be an hour and a half before they could get to me. I'm sure it'll be more along the lines of 2.5 hours. But if that's the case, then I'll try to get a split break in. You know, if it takes, because even after they get me in, it's probably going to take them a couple hours. So I'll try to do, you know, a few hours off duty or whatnot, because I can do a 7 and 3 split or an 8 and 2, and you can do them either way. You can do 2 hours off duty or 3 hours off duty, and then you have to do 8 hours with your 8 hours of sleeper berth, or 7 hours of sleeper berth with your 3 hours of off duty. Or you can do it the other way around, 8 and 2, 7 and 3. But in this case, I'd probably do like a 7 and 3, or a 3 and 7. Do the 3 first, and then the 7 when I get to the shipper. All right, so finally got into, well, they finally worked on my truck this morning. I ended up taking a 7-hour sleeper berth, or 8-hour sleeper berth, waiting on them to get to my truck last night. They didn't get to it till this morning. They couldn't jump start it. They finally took the panel off. They tested the batteries out in the parking lot because there was no way I was getting into the shop. And all the batteries tested good. And so he went over everything, and in the very back where I couldn't reach and couldn't get to, it was all loose. I mean, loose. How in the world it all got loose? Like, I just don't, it makes no sense to me, because I haven't had any issues out of this truck. It's always started fine, never had a problem, and then all of a sudden I've got all of these loose wires. It's crazy. Makes no sense at all. I don't know if they were already loose and I just happened to finally hit a bump just right and it moved them or what. Crazy. So anyways, he just tightened them all down, tightened all the wires down, all the connections down, and fired right up. Everything's good. Like I said, all the batteries tested good. So good to roll. I'm here at my 90. I just dropped the trailer, picked up another one. I'm gonna go ahead and stay the night here and pick up way early in the morning. My appointment's at 1:50 in the morning. So I'm gonna get some more rest, may do another video, and then get loaded in the morning and going to Wisconsin. Yay! So yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, y'all, stay